We didn't pick.
Yeah, just thinking about don't have an order and things are live and junk and just go from here.
Great day to start the evening. Oops.
Okay, so I'm R. Scrooge, and joining me today are just go at random.
The artistic alpaca.
Brain teaser.
SR nobody.
If you thought right now, that'd be great. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Huh?
What?
I'm trying to load the freaking chat in like another tab, and my computer is being a button.
Well, looking at some of the comments here, we have some interest in the what if the Stephen U cast for Eldritch horror. So why not open up with the Eldritch gems?
Let me get to the page so I can see what is going on, because that is my deal. Oops.
Yep.
Unprepared. Okay, so it's 13 Roget. Okay, so this AU was created by my friend Jazz back in 2015. And it's basically what if the Steven Universe gems followed H.P. Lovecraft tropes versus the cutesy aliens we got. Because a lot of the aliens from H.P. Lovecraft's story actually do come from similar things to gems. And he actually has an entire race of living sentient gems, but they actually project themselves a little bit more differently than what they do in the show. So it's just basically saying, what if this was the thing instead? And, I mean, it basically follows the same plot and everything, except there's more violence and sex. And just, it's a beautiful mess. Oh no, Leah is having trouble.
I don't know what is going on today.
Actually, H.P. Lovecraft, you would be surprised because, one, he's dead, and two, he actually was fully supportive of fan works of his stuff because he wanted the world to be as submerged. He wanted people to be able to get into his world as much as possible. He actually started a short serial magazine back in the 1900s specifically for his work.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. He was very much an advocate of fan work, despite his other asshole tendencies.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, fractured but whole.
Things you didn't know until today.
Honestly.
Yeah, we need to get that Eldritch Horrors thing up and going again.
It is such a good...
Is there any rich person out there that would be up for making a fan-made zine or whatever? Like getting that press up and running.
Please. I mean, okay, so we have our version of Eldritch Jasper, and she looks very similar to Corrupted Jasper. And when that episode came out, you know, was it 2016 or last year? I can't remember. Time is an illusion, so it's hard for me to keep up sometimes. But we looked at Corrupted Jasper and we looked at our design that had been drawn like a year or two prior, and we were just like, and then Perla is actually just based on crap, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. No, the rakes. Thank you, brain. Thank you for actually functioning today. They're called rakes, and they're like these very tenderly skeleton-looking things that are usually pretty harmless, even in the creepypasta, but that's what she's based on. Because they're such a common occurrence, and that's what a lot of people say they see when they have, what's it called? Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralyzation.
Sleep paralysis?
Yes! Thank you. Words! So, and since she's always like looking over Steven in his bed, especially in that one scene where there's like the creepy lighting, I think that's kind of why she got pegged as that sort of creature. And she's actually the most popular design. People have bought Makoras I've made of her. It's like I made 2 to take to a convention and they were gone so fast.
Whoa, nice. I love.
A lot of monster lovers out there. That's the PC term for it. Eclipse falls in that camp. She'd order 10. She would order 10 of those.
That darling treasure. I love her so.
I
don't watch much of the show. I love Eclipse.
My favorite thing, though, is the fact that my OC actually got dragged into the universe and doesn't deviate far from the norm because she doesn't interrupt with the actual storyline, which seems to be a theme with my self-inserts and junk. Is just like, oh, yeah, she's there. She's not messing with the main story, though. She's just there. And, yeah, her and the Jasper gym have stuff going on. That's a little bit odd. Because in ours, Jasper more or less reformed herself. Like she's for people versus other gyms. She'd rather be like, yes, I like humans. They are the only ones who haven't run in fear. So yeah, she's loyal to them versus the other gyms. Of course, you know, Garnet and Pearl are still trying to be like, hey, yeah, you should be our friends too. And Jasper's just kind of stubborn, like, no, there's only one person that I will ever fight for, and it is the small maid in the house. Who is mostly clockwork because of the crystal gems. Fucking shit up. Okay, so Pearl in the AU she's still sweet and everything, you know, she's still Pearl. Unfortunately, though, she still is also a bird brain, and she forgot that I don't have arms and tried to catch Chumana during a fight. And her hands and her arms and everything are nothing but sides. So off went several limbs. So there's a lot of body horror like that in there. I mean, like, that's the only subject matter that's really bad in it is the violence. Like, anything else is fine. There's limited cursing, and it's just like... it would literally have like a PG rating if you took out all the blood and gore.
Nice. I like Eldritch.
It's a fun thing. And, you know, we're able to back up some of the theories that we have with like canon stuff too, because apparently gems didn't always take humanoid forms like that until later on in life. So, I mean, hey.
Oh, come on, blasted phone.
That moment when it won't shut up.
Too bad you don't have Cortana or whatever on there. One of my buddies was raving about it last night. He kept trying to get her to tell him jokes and talk about music and stuff. And
I have Cortana on my laptop. I don't think excuse me. Haven't really felt a need to.
I actually need to start drawing the Eldritch gems again. I just haven't had the time recently.
Oh my gosh. Please draw. You know I love your art, darling. I love it. Love. I mean, I love everybody's art, but yes.
Especially since now I figured out this cool shading technique and stuff. Jasper's always the hardest. Well, no, not Jasper. From hardest to easiest to draw, I would have to say that Garnet is one of the hardest ones on there. Then it's Jasper. And the easiest ones are like Pearl, Rose, and Amethyst.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we don't have a design for the diamonds because in the H.P. Lovecraft lore, you never really get to see the Elder ones, with the exception of Cthulhu. And even then, Cthulhu is actually, I was rereading the stories and stuff, Cthulhu's actually pretty neutral on everything. He just wants to sleep and be left alone. He doesn't give a shit about humanity.
Literally, he's like that one neighbor. You're like having a party or something, he like bangs on the floor of the wall. He's like, shut up!
I'm trying to sleep here, guys. Yeah. Which surprised me because everyone's like making a big deal, and it's like, no, he's not the thing you need to worry about. It's the others, like the Yug Shagots and what have you. So South Park, when he's literally just meh about everything, that is about right.
Nice.
And that tickles me.
Very nice.
And he apparently has like a very strong liking for artists and writers, though. And sometimes he tries to like provide inspiration and ends up driving them mad instead.
Oh, man.
Like, oops.
Cthulhu in the minds of an artist. Like, what's going on? Why am I hearing voices? Meanwhile, Cthulhu, draw me like one of your French girls.
Pretty much. But yeah, okay, continue.
Was he the muse for? There's a Twilight parody floating around out there where the love interest is. That's one parody. There's another one floating around where the love interest is Cthulhu in the form of a teen boy.
Dear God, why? I mean, hilarious, but why?
That's beautiful. And it's just, it's lots of good fun. It's a nice stress reliever.
Yay.
Nothing says stress relief like the Dark Lord Cthulhu himself.
He's so squishy. I have problems, though. What can I say?
Squishy squid.
Yeah, squishy squish.
Alpaca, I dare you to draw a Dakimura. I probably just butchered that. Of Cthulhu. Like, just the Cthulhu head on a sexy man body. Like, as many muscles as you can get. Like, JoJo Bizarre Adventure level muscles.
If I'm not mistaken, hold up. Let me double check myself before I wreck myself.
Okay, but that sounds like an April Fool's Day gag gift, and I love it.
It exists already.
Ah,
oh my God! Why?
Yes, I want to see this.
Prepare your eyes, children.
Okay, there it is. I'm crying.
My computer doesn't support screen share, so somebody else is going to have to bring this magnificence up on screen. Please and thank you.
Wait for me to see it first. Hold on.
It's safe for work. I mean, if Google boots us for this, there's a problem.
Oh my God.
Well, the closest I can do is use my webcam.
Okay, but I really like the glowing eyes. That looks really cool.
It's good art. I mean, like, most Dakimakura have great art.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. That should probably be it.
Oh. Valentine's Day is coming up. Now you know what to order for your significant other if they're into eldritch horrors and such like Alpaca.
I have problems. I have two modes: pretty women and monsters. If you're not
pretty women,
if you're not like literally Sidon from Breath of the Wild or the asset from Shape of Water, don't look at me.
Oh, dude!
Pretty horror slithering down the street.
I'd rather have a monster in body than a monster in mind. So I mean, they're in a.
Oh, Cotton.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, what? I'm confused.
Cotton was looking at me with the pitiful look on his face. Cotton's he's my boyfriend's pup.
He's the doggo.
The pup. The puppers.
Sorry, I meant to mute myself before talking to the dog.
Nah, you're good.
And I will leave with the dog.
I love this so much. What the hell am I hitting? Oh, it's that thing. Okay.
But yeah. Oh, also in our AU, unbeknownst to Steven, Rose is actually alive because she's a plant, so that's like the biggest difference between the canon story and the Eldritch story. Everything else is the same, though.
Gemma.
She can't leave her particular area in the temple because of the magic that's binding her together. Because she chickened out last minute and was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna kill myself for this human mob because I forgot that I can actually reproduce."
Oh my God, Rose! Okay, now I'm just trying to figure out, is there a way to combine Rose Quartz's name with Audrey too? Because I just call her that.
We just call her Rose.
Rosy Posy.
I think I've actually done watercolor pictures of her on my channel. I want to say I have. Have I? Hold on.
That moment you gotta check your own work.
Yep. It's been so long because I don't get to do traditional stuff much. So.
Yeah, you're too busy making cute chibi-yus with Sailor Moon hair that I love. That is.
Yeah, like last year I actually did. And I did a pearl speed paint too.
Just as to address the comments, I still need to see some of season 4. So yeah, for Ruby. And now I think you just spoiled something, so thanks.
Not really.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, good. No, like, I'm kind of mad at myself. I need to catch up on Ruby, and then I'm also gonna, like, rewatch the past season and a half of Red vs. Blue. I'm, like, falling the hell behind on my Rooster Teeth stuff. I'm, like, mad at myself. Oh my gosh.
Just a number of people I follow pretty much just talk about it, so it's kind of hard for me to avoid spoilers for a while.
Fair enough.
It took all the energy I had to avoid spoilers for Shape of Water, so I feel that. Also, so let's talk about story blending now, shall we, for alternate universes? Have you seen Del Toro tweeting the Sid Link stuff, where they combined Sidon and Link for the Shape of Water movie?
Oh.
Yeah.
I have...
It's beautiful, okay? It's the best.
Sounds amazing.
And everyone thought it was a joke, and someone thought maybe it was a fake screenshot. And it was nice. For the fact that he understood why it was being done too.
Oh. That sounds cool.
I'd say Del Toro is one of those directors that he knows.
He's fully aware.
It's
like he knows.
He's known for ages.
Yeah. He doesn't seem like the kind of director that just sticks to their own stuff. He was like the director that takes a step back, looks at what people have done, and go, okay, so that's what they like.
He's a director that's not afraid to be seen walking down the red carpet with a man in full-blown monster makeup wearing a dress.
Doug Jones?
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's hilarious that I'm related to him, and it actually explains a lot.
Bless. Oh
like, I don't know exactly where in the family tree. I just know it's in the family tree.
I get that. This thing could stop being a behind. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really funny too, because all they really did for like Sidon and Link is legit just copy and paste, and it was kind of funny. Because Eliza's best friend in the movie is named Zelda.
Oh my god.
So it's not like they had much work to do. I think they made Dimitri Rivali, and like Urbosa was another character. I can't remember. I think they made her Giles or something like that. Yeah, it was great. It was good. It was pure.
I already like this.
Don't you do it, Eliza. I'ma do it.
I have no idea who these characters are and how they line up with who and what and why.
You'll find out next month, Scrooge. Trust me.
I don't want to wait. I want to see it now. I want to see the fish fucking now.
I want it now.
Oh my god. This is why I've missed these streams, because all these beautiful things happen and I don't get to be a part of it until now, and that's why I'm so happy right now. I miss this. Like, you wouldn't
Alpaca,
believe.
why isn't there an AU yet where B is part of the Breath of the Wild thing, but the big reason to have her there is that she gets together with Sidon in some way, shape, or form? Why isn't that a thing yet?
Oh my god.
I'm still in denial. I mean, I actually took like B stuff and did an AU for the AU, and I was like, okay, so I'm trying to get this job as a debugger for a company. I can't say who, what, when, or where, why. And I was like, Shape of Water, except she's a debugger programmer and Metaton's there.
Oh my god. I love it already.
Just put Sidon there. We know you have a thing for fish. It's been pretty much one of the biggest topics in the past several podcasts. Just
I think since 2004, before you even knew me, when I was like 12, I already knew that Abe Sapien is like my bae.
Oh my gosh. Love.
I'm not ashamed. I'm a little anxious about admitting it, but I'm not ashamed.
just make B and Sidon a thing already. There you go.
I mean, my friend is actually trying to push it and has commissioned a piece, and I'm just like, why are you like this? Don't, you enabler, y'all freaking enablers.
Darn it! I should have commissioned that instead of B and Metaton.
Oh my god, all of y'all.
Why not both?
Gotta live with folks.
Oh yes, SR. Another AU. B has both Metaton and Sidon. OT3!
Oh no,
OT3!
save her. Oh god, no, you're forgetting the trifecta, because you have someone who's kind of neutral, and that's Metaton. Then you have like the actual good guy, who's a good person, and that's Sidon, and then you have the asshole, and that's Bill. Rest in pieces.
Her serum.
There's your
ever
cliche anime reverse harem for you.
Okay, so psychotic demonic triangle, big ass fish dude, and fabulous robot. There you go.
I love everything about what's going on right now. I love all of this.
I just love how it's a trope now, and there's no judgment. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, it starts out as a joke, haha, funny, put her in these situations, and then, because I genuinely have no fucks to give in real life, and then it's like, let's do this for fun, and then it gets serious, and it's like, oh shit, we started something.
Literally every OC creator ever.
That's kind of how the
awesome.
Manly Host Club thing happened.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that, please?
Yes.
Can we please explain that right now?
Yes. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so I was trading ridiculous ideas with SR back and forth. I think it started with the discussion about my new favorite crack ship, Joe Cuppa and Cupid from OKKO. Started there, and just gonna get right to the point. This is pretty much a reverse harem with Wilhelmina, Enid's mom, at the center of it. All the adult characters are pretty much in high school with Japanese school uniforms and everything. Wilhelmina is at the center of a reverse harem. You have Bernard, who'd be the endgame love interest that wins out, marries her, etc., etc. There's also Joe Cuppa, Cupid, Mr. Gar, and then that's the makeup of the harem. And then outside of that, Carol is Wilhelmina's best friend, kinda. And Mr. Gar only hangs around because he's hoping to get together with Carol, but everybody thinks he's going after Wilhelmina, but no, that's not the case. My personal favorite parts are the extras that ended up getting tacked on, like Wilhelmina's
oh, Jesus.
the president of the student council. And one of the members is Cosma, who's a double agent. She's reporting back their findings to the villains. And then my absolute favorite, Venomous as a teenager, beatnik, emo poet type guy that also does science stuff. And Boxman is this nerdy minion type that tries to impress him with experiments and stuff.
Oh god, this poor babe.
Mr. Garza Hall Monitor.
Oh god.
Oh, and I thought of one, but I haven't mentioned it. Like, okay, so like Venomous is that goth kid, beat poetry and chemicals and all that, science geek. He's got a pet mouse, but school doesn't allow pets, especially mice. So he's mothering it and hiding it from the student council.
Oh my god.
And there's Fink.
Oh
the
god.
Nazi Raven.
Yes. I'm guessing that in this AU, years down the road, he figures out how to turn the mouse humanoid, and that's where Fink comes from.
Oh god.
Let's see, Rippy. I'm looking at my notes for this. Rippy Roo is the school/student council mascot. Million Billion is the school rich boy. Crinkly Wrinkly's the principal.
Okay, I take back the comment about Venomous. That's the best part. Crinkly Wrinkly as the principal. Just.
Oh, and then Rad, Enid, and Red Action are there, and kind of like that trope where like a character's future kid comes back in time to make sure the two characters get together and all that.
Back to the Future, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can say it. It's not a forbidden word.
Let's see. Rad's the third wheel, laugh at the bad fashion and snarky remarks, but would end up accidentally creating most of the cliches that the 80s are known for.
Yeah. Aren't his parents the foreign...
Yeah, they're the cool foreign exchange
kids
students and a power couple. They're so cool, Rad doesn't recognize them at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm already writing bad fan fiction. I should start writing fan fiction for this.
Go for it.
And then how they go back in time is because of Red Action, and then Wilhelmina plays matchmaker with Enid and Red Action.
Oh sweet crispiness.
Let's see, looking at the notes. Let's see, Cupid's the sleeves are ripped. Bernard's would be open to expose his werewolf bod. Mr. Garris has a tie and a barely contained vest. Bernard is that shy bad boy.
Oh my god.
Jesus. All the tropes, I love it. I really do.
It's like it's the Neo Yokio of shoujo anime tropes.
No. I have no freaking clue what that is, or I do, and I just can't remember it.
Neo Yokio. An attempt at Okay, it's hard to describe. It's just okay.
Oh, Million Billion making a Toblerone reference.
Damn it, Eslar, you're giving me bad ideas. I need to start writing crap for this.
Jeez, Cosmo, thanks for that worthless information. You know what? You don't deserve this big Toblerone.
Fuck.
I don't understand what's happening, but I like it.
I don't either, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
Oh, and Ginger, the old lady in Carol's gym, she's there. She's one of the teachers, and she's actually there just to scope one of the... Like, there's a store across the street, and that she wants to steal, and she's just using being a teacher as cover.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Poor Scrooge.
This is cracking me up so much. Everything SR is describing, I'm just imagining happening in show, like it's been animated and stuff.
You're gonna get hiccups by the end of the stream, I'm telling you right now.
Probably.
I even have it in my notes. It's like,
What?
Like KO reading one of Enid's stories from middle/high school and is in the characters we know as filler instead of designing new ones. That is the purpose of the AU.
Oh
Or that's how
Beautiful.
that's how they could do it in show.
That's honestly the best.
Because we all know that Enid back in high school/middle school was a total dork and a weeaboo. So, and what have all dorky weeaboos in middle school have done? They've tried to write their own manga or anime series.
She was a Naruto level weeaboo. That I swear, I'm surprised she's not my favorite just because of that. While everybody else was going, oh my god, is there romantic tension between Rad and Enid in Second First Date? I zeroed in on that stupid Naruto manga, the one with Naruto and Sasuke on the cover, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing it! They're making references to this! And just, I'm pretty sure if I wasn't hooked into the show by that point, that's what did it. That's what fucking did it.
That's beautiful.
Okay, here's an interesting question from the comments. 13 Rogan asks, do you like when a fanfic changes one element and creates a ripple effect throughout the AU story? Or when they change everything from the get-go? Like, there's some stories that do a complete overhaul of everything or plug characters from their setting into something else. I'm guessing that this is referring to only one thing is kind of slightly changed about the world or the surroundings. Like, this is just going to be a ridiculous example scraped off the top of my head. Like, Danny Phantom, but rather than Danny Fenton being the one that goes ghost, it's Sam or Tucker instead. Something like that.
I can say with the Ming, yeah.
AUs are just fun.
Yes, they are.
That's just my general consensus.
AUs allow people to come up with their own stories and also to make their ship cannons to make their ships canon.
Yes.
That seems to be the bigger one.
That's what makes it fun.
It's the major appeal.
No, like I mean, oh god. I could go on for days, man. I really could.
Like, I actually read this. It's not available anymore because the person removed it, but it was a Twilight AU where Bella had some balls, and it was fucking great.
Ooh.
In other words, Twilight written by a competent author.
Yep.
Ew.
It was great.
Don't need to call it an AU, just call it what it is.
Well, they said AU where Bella actually had a pair, and I was just like, yeah. It was really funny because she was so unimpressed with Edward through the entire thing that his character completely changed from like the asshole trying to avoid life to like this poor kid that's just like, please notice me, senpai.
Yo, okay. Okay.
It was a little ridiculous, but it was fun because it was still far better than the novel we got.
See, I've literally only I've never read any of the books. I only saw the first movie, so I really can't say crud when it comes to Twilight, but everything that I keep hearing, I'm just like, I kind of don't want to pick it up ever.
It's one of those novels you read because it's easy to read. You don't read it because it's good. You read it because you need something to bide your time with. She's lucky she wrote it in 2008 versus now, because now we got cell phones. We don't need that mess.
Oh my god.
And I mean, you know, that book also took rise to 50 Shades of Grey, so which was a Twilight AU fan fiction.
Yeah, there you go, man.
There we go. I tied it together. Ha! Not off topic.
Yes.
Okay,
it's all connected.
Not even gonna try to do a smooth transition here. Let's go on or segue to another. Hey, Brain Teaser, did you get permission to discuss that one topic? Going to be a bit vague here, or?
I got the okay from one person, but it's like there's like 5 involved. So I guess what I could really talk about is my own experience with canon blending. Because honestly, that's like some of the most fun crud ever. Okay.
Let's go ahead and start a discussion about that. Take it away.
Okay. So what y'all gotta understand is my main fandom is what I like to call the DC Megaverse. Because DC is, guys, pretty much barely younger than my grandmother. So you have like 80-something years of material to work with. And I'm not talking about like the cartoons, I'm talking about the TV, live action and animation, just the video games even. So you have all these things to work with. So when I write for my DC OCs or even just canon characters, I'm not keeping it in one specific universe. Rather, I have, let me see if I can give a good example. Like if I'm going to center it around Batman because that's like my noise. That's where I could like list facts like off the top of my head. So we could have like Harley Quinn, Riddler, Scarecrow, and Poison Ivy from Batman the Animated Series back in the 90s. But then I use the 2004's The Batman version of Killer Croc. And then I could have, oh God, what was the name of the guy that wrote it? And then not even just for the specific, like, that's not even just for the looks of the characters. Like, the backstory that I use for some of these canons is like a composite Frankenstein of like their comic history. Like, oh dear Lord, what am I even doing?
I feel with like DC though, that's the best way to do it, because like the new Starfire, where she's basically just a bikini wearing bimbo compared to the the original Starfire, is like a stark difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why canon blending with DC would be a popular choice, because you got more to work with and you can make something a little bit more coherent than what you have even in canon.
Yes. And what gets hilarious for me, especially because my canon blended universe is based on I wouldn't say based on, because there are some very significant differences just for the sake of, because I'm sorry, making a timeline for this stuff is a bitch. God. But yeah, most of my canon blended universe is based on that of what I like to call my DeviantArt beta mama. Because I've gotten some ships that I would have never thought of otherwise. Like, oh my god, hold on. Okay. Let me see if I can think. Or if I'm trying to think of ones that people might actually know, because I might have to look up like Google Images just to help with it. But oh god, where's my map? You know what? I'm gonna just like pull up my master ship list, because that's where I find most of these things. So y'all gonna have to give me a second.
Master ship list? Is this on an Excel spreadsheet or?
It's a DA journal that I'm constantly updating all the goddamn time.
I'm sorry. Wanted to give you a little bit of a hard time about that. One of my buddies had several different Excel spreadsheets that he maps out favorite episodes of shows and stuff on, so.
Oh, he's not alone, but the reason that I use Excel is for a completely different thing, but I'm still obsessed over you can't say crap. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It is. Where the crud monkeys is it? Where does it start?
I can see Freakazoid using that as a catchphrase.
Crud monkey like
Okay, so here's one. If there's anyone who ever watched the Young Justice cartoon series, which bless my heart, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very anxious about the fact that it's coming back because oh my god, Greg Weisman, you do some very strange things, and I'm not sure if I like it or not. Sometimes I outright hate it. Not to lie. My friend ended up shipping the Terror Twins, the female Terror Twins, with basically Bart Allen's evil and his crap. Like, it's sad, it's cute. I love them.
You're really breaking up, man.
My computer is being a bitch. Like, I've been dropped from the call twice, and I'm almost always breaking up on these things. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's South Florida. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. You know what? I'm bet you anything I'm getting freaking interference from the goddamn South Florida fair. That's probably what the hell it is. Ugh. But yeah, especially with canon blending, it's also a good way to basically say, I respect your decision, DC, but seeing as it is a stupid-ass decision, I'm going to reject it and substitute my own.
But seeing as it's a dumbass decision, we have elected to ignore it.
Yeah. Because, oh my god, if you want to get me salty, try telling me that Waylon Killer Croc Jones is a moron. I will fight you. No, he isn't. The only reason people think he's stupid is because of goddamn almost got him from.
What?
She died.
No, I wanted to hear the rest of that angry nerd
I know,
rant.
I was waiting. I'm just over here like, please come back. That sounded beautiful. Come back. But yeah, a lot of people do think Killer Croc is dumb, especially with how he's portrayed in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's just, ooh, it gets me so salty. So salty.
Oh, she's back. Hi.
Finish the nerd rant, please. Finish the nerd rant.
Okay. Jones is my son. I will fight you for him. Because he is brilliant. If I can find like video evidence from the I need to find like a video link of him from the 4 Batman series because all of the weird shit that it did, I love. They did Killer Croc. Oh my god! Like please. Again, which honestly does not surprise me now that I think back on it because he's supposed to have been like this poor child. Like, it's not even his fault. He's literally, it's a goddamn skin condition, and it gets him beat up with beer bottles from his goddamn aunt because his parents, it was either his parents don't want him or, like, one of them died and the other one just, like, didn't want anything to do with him or something. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah. It's beautiful. My only thing, though, is that they make him look a little more like Marvel's Lizard than they do a crocodile, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Oh my god, yes, I found something. Let me see if I can drop it here. Yep. Yeah. I'll just drop it in the Google Hangouts chat. Oh my god. Boy, right here. Love him. Oh. Actually, if I had to select who ends up most affected by my canon blend, if you can believe it, is Scarecrow. Because what's interesting about him is that most people tend to agree with what the composite Frankenstein of his backstory, because oh god, this boy's life. If any of you remember when Scrooge interviewed me about Riddler and Scarecrow, that's the thing I'm talking about, because this boy, literally, I cannot believe his life. Because it sucks. Like, it sucks to the nth degree. It's like, no wonder he's such a fucked up little bastard. But yeah. Okay, just to give it a frame of reference, literally the nickname we have for him in my Batman DC community is freaking Snape Crane. Because that's what we've basically done to this boy. Like, he's an absolute ass, but he has the kind of redeeming qualities where you're not entirely sure if you can put him as totally black, totally white character.
He's very self-serving.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. He really is, and oh my... I mean, somebody's got to play the straight man when you're in the same kind of community as Joker, Riddler, and basically every other extra bitch in the entire DC lineup.
Extra.
No, literally, one of my OCs is like the most extra bitch you'll ever meet. I could, if we had the time, I could like literally go through her entire life and tell you about all of the crazy ass shit she did. Oh my god.
Podcast topic.
Yes. I mean, I like redact thing for spoilers because I'm still writing her trilogy, which I really need to get on that. Yes, we call him Snape Crane, and it doesn't... Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. The main reason we call him Snape Crane is that when we do dramatic readings, my DeviantArt mother basically pulls a Severus Snape voice for Crane, and it's like the most It's like... It's basically like a slightly higher pitched Alan Rickman. It's great.
He would be proud.
Yes. I'm not... Alan Rickman, you were... Bless your soul, sir.
May he rest in peace.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh.
How are you? What? You are about 49 minutes late to this. Rick's Blue Zebra.
Brick, it's on.
Are you doing a thing over there, Scrooge?
Yes. I was just really itching to make a really, really dumb reference.
Go for it.
That was it. That was the very out of context, unnecessary reference.
Nice.
Now I'm reading from the comments section, doing a dramatic reading of Blue Zebra's reaction.
Yes.
And this has been a dramatic reading of the comments.
Oh god, oh god. Okay, but just to address the things that 13 Roga is saying is that, yes, I understand what you mean by referencing Crisis on Infinite Earth. And that, the thing is, I would say the only real difference is that there isn't some kind of, like, this is the way that the universe has always been, whereas Crisis on Infinite Earths, there was, like, multiple universes, and then things got kind of all mixed around, which I still need to read that whole thing, I think about it. But yeah, Freeze is meant to always have the most tragic backstory. Like, I'm sorry, but if you do something to touch, like change any part. Oh no! Oh! I have a story for this. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! So everyone knows Batman Animated Series basically reinvented Victor Freeze from the ground up, right?
Aye.
Like, right? Okay. So, this is, I want to say this is semi-spoilery, but not really. I guess I could just do it without giving too much of the details away, but basically, DC made a movie, not Mask of the Phantasm, this is the one, which is Batman Sub-Zero, and they had it. Then later on down the line, they made the Batman Beyond series, and it kind of basically retconned the movie and made it like very kind of what the fuck. And it got to the point where the fans were so pissed at them, they used the tie-in comics for the series to retcon what the episode did, and then I think later in the cartoon, they like double retconned it, saying, yeah, let's just pretend that episode never happened. Like, he basically had a panic attack. It was great. So yeah, don't touch Freeze's backstory or you're gonna get attacked on all corners, all sides. You will become Kronos, get chopped into itty-bitty pieces by Scythe, and thrown into Tartarus. Not gonna lie.
They're more aggressive than the Steven Universe fans.
That's saying something. That's saying a lot.
I mean, can you blame him when you have a great episode like Heart of Ice?
Yeah, honestly.
Very true.
Oh, you want to talk about New 52 sucking with Batman villains? Oh, you do not know the hell that was raised.
Let's put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that and save it for an entire podcast, because I have a feeling there's a lot of different, from your reaction, there's a lot of different angles you could attack this from, for lack of a better description.
Oh, I could spend two podcasts breaking down the stupid things New 52 did.
Okay, let's say that for next week. It's going to be a special, and you can just let loose, rant about New 52 to your heart's content.
Yes, good.
Write a list.
Yes, I will. I will write a script if I have to.
I'll say this much, though. Already got something lined up for next Saturday, so New 52 will have to wait for the Sunday after next. Is that okay?
I don't know if I want to make it that soon, because, I think, this is going to need, a breakdown. I need time to organize this.
Alrighty. Let me know when you're ready.
I'd rather do, one of the video ideas you and I had about, putting on the, channel thingamajig before that happens, because New 52 would take longer. New 52 would take longer. But go. Somebody steal the mic away from me, please. Down.
You're fine, man. I just feel like there's a lot of different things you could cover there. Might as well just save it for a full 2-hour rant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have somebody eagerly awaiting this teaser, so yeah, definitely gotta get this project queued up. I may need to do
apparently
some research myself.
Apparently I'm very entertaining when I'm salty, I guess. I mean, I'm a musical theater. I've been in theater most of my life, so I know I'm over the top AF. Let's be real.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Nope, nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just
Back to AUs. What's the worst you've seen? Oh boy.
I've not really seen bad AUs. I've seen bad executions of AUs, Under Lust, but I'm not touching that. You'll have a brain teaser episode, but with me. I'm not touching that one. Good idea, poor execution. Please try again later.
Yeah,
All I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
No one needs to hear about that.
I think when it comes to what you're saying, that pretty much covers it for AUs. It covers it for just about any kind of media, original, fan-made, whatever. You could probably have one of the most ridiculous and absurd sounding ideas ever. But if it's in the hands of the right person, they can spin it into gold. They can make something fairly interesting.
Shape of water.
Yeah. Yes. I still need to see that movie really, really badly. I want to. Oh, and Greatest Showman. I need to see that too.
Oh, yes, you need to see that. Next Saturday, that's next Saturday's podcast, gushing about Greatest Showman.
Yes.
Got
Good.
a couple of special guests lined up for that one, so everybody needs to get their butts out to the theater and see Hugh Jackman in his over-the-top performance, so everybody can gush about how amazing he is, how amazing that movie is. And...
It's easier to see than my movie.
Unfortunately, I'm so upset I can't go see The Shape of Water. I want to see it.
So good. It's frustrating too because it's such a limited release. I got lucky and ended up going to Opry Mills in order to see it. So,
Man.
dumb luck assisted me.
Oh, looking at some of the comments there, since you brought up shows making fun of AUs or fanfic ideas and such, that reminds me of an episode of Wander, where they were kind of running through the gamut and poking... There was this one bit in one of the episodes where somebody was telling... or one of these little kids was telling stories about the mysterious wanderer, and one of them was... They were trying to connect Wander to all the different characters in the show, like make them related in some ridiculously convoluted way, and she ended with some kind of self-insert Mary Sue character that she was trying to ship with him, and it was great.
I love when people call out fans.
But then he opened the chest, and an evil curse took over his father, and he turned into Lord Hater. Twist! But then he was seen. So then he was traveled the universe looking for a cure, and he's being hunted down by his evil sister, Lord Dominator. Double twist.
Oh my god. Is this an actual thing that happened?
Yes,
Yeah.
This is something in an actual Wander episode.
And the art,
I need to see this bad.
and the art style in that specific section was done by the Lumberjanes artist Noelle Stevenson.
Lumberjanes! Yes! I love it. God, I haven't looked at that stuff in forever. Holy crow. Oh, God. Wander over yonder.
Do.
Yes, please. Blue Zebra's so confused, you poor child.
I'm here.
Yes.
Just still crying, thinking about the one AU I did for shits and giggles for like animatic challenge, and then
Yes, let's stretch that up. Let's bring up the ship B with everybody thing again.
no.
Yes!
Yeah.
Because this AU I'm actually quite proud of, because I wrote it in such a way that specifically people could insert themselves into it, because I need a break. I'm tired, y'all.
Dude, you don't understand. I will never get tired of that one picture you drew for the, what was it, 30,000 watchers?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Or not 30,000, like, I reached like 5K views. How much does that bitch-ass animatic of mine have now? Hold up.
Yes, look at it. Find it.
Look at
Tell
it!
us.
Look at it!
Okay.
Look at it!
It's almost at 11K views.
Yay!
And the dislike versus likes is going very well. 248
Yes,
likes
good.
versus 41 dislikes. So, I mean, I'm doing okay.
For something that kind of hits a bit of a controversial button, that's damn well. Controversial as in somebody shipping themselves with the psychotic demonic triangle.
I didn't mean to. I think my friend was fucking with me. And like some of the comments are like, lol, this I ship it. I'm like, what? You don't know me. But yeah, almost 11K views. Right now it's 10,959.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know how to feel about that. It's my second most viewed video behind my friend's Metaton performance.
Dude, I'll say this much. You made something somewhat original or creative. I have to ramble about, I think these two characters are romantically compatible to get any kind of significant views. If I talk about anything else, no, I don't want to hear your opinion on that. Talk about characters kissing again.
People are butts. And they can bite your butt. That's how I feel.
just for the record, I'm exaggerating a bit here. I wouldn't discuss characters kissing each other if I didn't want to.
But yeah, I was surprised how that took off because I was not expecting that. I was like, well, this will be like the other Dead Girl Walking animatics where it's going to get like no views or very limited, and then it kind of went a little overboard. I did not expect that. I'm very proud of that. But at the same time, I unleashed hell, so. And everyone gets really surprised when they ask who's going to be the main villain, because they think it's going to be like Ted and Pacifica. And then I was like, no, that's not what happens at all. And then I'll tell them, and then they're just like, what the fuck? Because they're not expecting my answer usually. It actually does end up being Gideon because Ted takes over kind of like how emotional he is because his only friend that could put up with him.
Okay. Before we get too far into this, might want to give some context as to.
I don't know how to give context. What is context?
Okay, so this particular alternate universe
is based on Heathers. And if you don't know what Heathers is, please go watch it. It's really good, both musical and movie form from the 80s.
Well, Heathers is part of the inspiration, but it's a magical school where the students are learning magic and stuff. And one of the requirements is you have to have some kind of familiar. Bill is one of several demonic familiars students can have, or there's a bit more to that, but I'm just using him as an example. Everybody else is some kind of familiar. They've managed to summon up one. Ted is one of the possible familiars, not quite sure which character he's paired with.
Pacifica.
Or not paired as in romantic. Familiars like in
partnership.
Cat, or
he's partnered with Pacifica, and he is nastier and much meaner than Bill ever was. Because Bill has, he's goofy at least. He's pretty much, you know what to expect with him. With Ted, you don't, because he's far more violent. And his antics actually get the insert character, so whether it's you, me, or whoever, you could even have it be Mabel or Dipper if you want, he likes to get them in trouble. And if you're playing, like in my case, in the main character, my character is one of the teachers there, even though she's younger, because she's advanced in her skill level. So she tutors and she teaches, what did I choose for her? Not care for magical creatures. I think it was like herbology or something like that. Yeah, herbology. And, the headmistress kind of looks at her and expects the best out of her. And so what Ted likes to do is point, I was like, well, if you want the best out of her, she, her mom accidentally, awoken Bill from the statue, and she managed to confine him in something that's just a tad bit more humanoid than he likes. You should be pushing her to have a better familiar. And what Ted was trying to get at was, don't pair me with Pacific anymore, pair me with her, because he wants to use her strength and knowledge to do his take over the world scheme. That doesn't happen. Instead, the dean of the school or whatever decides that, oh, well, I want to kill every single familiar you get until you fall into peer pressure. And the three Heathers, which they're not really mean to her, Pacifica, Scrooge, and of course, Brain Teaser's character, they're not mean to her like the Heathers are to Veronica and everyone else, but they do dislike Gideon for being the one to originally summon Bill and be as friends with him because, she believes in the whole thing. It's like, it takes a lot of time and effort to reform and to give yourself a good name again, but it does happen. And basically shit goes downhill to a point where she has to take Bill on as a familiar. Bill realizes, though, this is the benefit for him that he goes with it for, is that if he's her familiar, Ford and Stan can't touch him, because if you kill a witch's familiar, it can actually severely damage their psyche, which is why, if you watch where Ted and the Dean are killing my character's familiars over and over, she starts losing whatever confidence and stuff she has because it keeps taking a toll on her mental health. Because there's a very deep connection, which is how it works with real familiars too, apparently. That's how it works in Harry Potter, for Pete's sake. That's why Harry had such a hard time when Hedwig died. And so Bill, he's like, haha, this is going to be easy. I don't really have to do nothing. And then he realizes he fucked up. Because what he was not expecting was the fact that when you're someone else's familiar, you have something called empathy. You feel whatever they're feeling. So he basically has to learn how to feel emotions again, and it kind of goes from there. It's a mess. Oh, it's seepy.
Alpaca, it looks like you're gonna have to start writing this fan fiction now.
I don't wanna. I still gotta finish being Underland. But yeah, that's what it is. And it's really depressing because it's like, everyone's like, oh, cool, Gideon's gonna get reformed. And then Ted's gotta go and fuck that up because he doesn't like the fact Pacifica wants to be nice to people. Because that was one of the reasons he was like, oh, I want to be her familiar because she's got ambition. She's blah, blah, blah. And Pacifica's pretty. She's still snooty, but she's well-meaning. She's like Cleo Denial from Monster High. She's snooty, but she does want to help others. And it ends up becoming a brawl to where Gideon and Ted are trying to open up the door to Eldritch World. And
okay, let's stop it right there.
Yeah, I was going to say spoilers, but no, you don't want to know.
We need to set up a Patreon for Alpaca. Donate several dollars per month to convince her to start writing this fan fiction. Because I want it, I will throw down $5 a month. In the hopes that this fan fiction will start being written. Yes.
I have too much time on my hands sometimes when I'm sitting there cleaning the house, so being Underland is worse. That mythos goes far deeper than most people expect, because they're like, oh, it's just a dumb self-insert thing, and then I start talking about a lot of the theories that people have, and everyone's like, oh, what did I sign up for?
We really need to get this fan fiction out there to change people's perceptions of self-insert, that there is such a thing as a decently written self-insert, and it can actually add something to the fictitious world or some of the lore and stuff out there.
Yeah, well, the main thing I think people are going to have an issue with in my fan fiction, if I were to ever go forth with the Gravity Falls one, is that of what I classify Bill as, because a lot of people just assume he's some demonic thing without a real label. But there's this type of angel called Throne, and they actually often present themselves as geometrical shapes with one eye, and they're also one of the biggest pain in the asses you will ever meet from the Bible. And that's something people have actually sent me very nasty letters for, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'm going with actual research, I didn't have to dig for it, so it's not like something Alex Hirsch would laugh at. He'd probably be like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
It's ridiculous that people are giving you grief about that when I made, 10-minute video about why I thought Bill was a missing denizen from a novel called Flatland. I'd say Throne is a much more plausible explanation for what the hell he is.
Well, you know, considering that there's a lot of theories out there too that think angels and stuff like that do fall into like alien territory. It is just like, oh, it's not that far of a stretch. It really just bugs me that people get so defensive over stuff like that. I'm like, it doesn't exist in canon. This is my theory. You don't have to like it, but you also don't have to be a dick about it. It's like, I get, okay, so like for being Underland, the last time I updated my chapters was back in 2016. Being because there's a small portion of the fans for Undertale that really hate it when you pair Metaton with anyone other than Papyrus or a male character. And it just got so stressful to the point where I don't like writing about it anymore. Like, I love them to death and I'll talk about it with like Scrooge and everyone, but I really can't touch Archive of Our Own or Tumblr about it with more than a like I need a 50-foot pole. It's like the thing that I did with for you, Scrooge. I only posted it on my Tumblr because it had the word commission attached to it. Because I get so much grief and it's so stressful. And it's just like
trying to open up a.
No, it's not your fault. It's the other people. But like, man. And the thing is like what I really would like to do with being Underland is like I would like to do like a visual novel sort of deal, like as videos where you're watching the story unfold versus reading, because I feel like that might be a softer blow to people because then they'll be like, oh cool, she actually went through the effort instead of just putting words on a page. Because I find with like fan fictions like that, people tend to respect that more. But like, yeah, I'm hoping if I can get this job that I'm going for, that I'll actually be able to pay people to help me do that and put that together. Because I know a few people that would probably help me.
Cool.
But yeah, like, usually when I'm at conventions too, it's really weird because there is such a stark difference for like alternate universe stuff between online and people in real life. Because like at AWA this year, we were talking about fan fictions and stuff with a pretty big Undertale group, and you know they asked me about mine, and I gave them a short summary, and everyone thought that was like the coolest shit. And then you go online, and everyone's just down your throat if you even do or say the wrong thing. It's so weird.
See, it's like this is why I'm glad I'm kind of not really into Undertale because I feel like I would nope the F out if I was actually involved in the fandom.
Yeah, the fandom can be like, okay, so the internet fandom is bad, but the in-person fandom tends to be really, really great.
Fair enough.
It's like I'm going to the Atlanta Tale event in Atlanta next month. And I'm cosplaying Bee because there are people like in the server for it, there are a few people who actually know the story and they're like, holy crap, I like this thing. You should come as her. So what I'm trying to do is raise money, and I need to still get her shorts and her top and the belts, because I think Jamie is getting the wig for me, so I can load up my tool belts and my belts and stuff with like cosplay repair, and then be a cosplay mechanic.
Oh my god, yes!
But I'm having a little bit of an issue reaching like that funding, and it kind of sucks. So I'm hoping I will get this job, or something might come through for me.
I keep like I'm still trying to figure out what to get as a commission from you because I want to be able to help with this because this sounds awesome and I want it. I want it.
Yes. Yeah. And my friend is actually going to be cosplaying Metaton, so we're going to be gross at the convention.
Yes.
I'm just gonna make like all the haters so uncomfortable if they show up. It's like there was one person who was gonna cosplay like a typical self-insert, and then I showed my stuff and we were talking about fan fictions and stuff, and they're like, I'm canceling that plan because now I feel like a dick. Well, I put a lot of work into my stuff. I try not to go in half-assed.
Good.
Because I don't know. It's like, if you're doing it really quickly and it's just to get a feel, then yes, do it half-assed. That's good. Yes, it's very good. Or if you don't have time, that's okay. But for me, I do have the time and I do have the effort and energy to put into it. But it's just kind of like, when am I actually going to have the time to sit down and type it? That's the issue. Not the sitting there thinking of time. The physically writing it out time is the issue, I guess I should say.
See, I kind of understand what you mean. In my little Bat fam on DA, the Beta Mama and I, not only are our universes very canon blended, but we also have multiple OCs that belong to several different people. So it's like we got to make like 8 different timelines work together, because it's like the stories are kind of interconnected, but not really. It's almost like they're AUs of an AU, you know? Honestly.
AU Inception.
AU-ception.
AU school.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons a lot of the like real time Undertale fans that I meet up with like my thing is because of how much work I put into Gaster. And I think that's honestly what the saving grace is for a lot of people, because I'm pretty sure if I didn't put as much thought or as much character into Gaster as I have, that it would probably not be received as well for real life meetups.
Oh.
I mean, he kind of got shafted in the game, so I wanted to give him a little bit of a reason to, you know, for being there. But I also kind of wanted to give a reason for some of the random small events that you encounter in the game. It's like Alphys having a friend that's not Metaton picking out a dress, and, you know, the person who accidentally calls Frisk on the phone and says, "Oops, wrong number." So I like to take stuff like that is actually in the game and apply it to B, because I'm like, you know, it's just there. It's not explained. So why not use it?
Exactly.
And I think that's why people like it in real time. And then people on the internet are just dicks.
No, it's because internet persona to hide on, so that they can't get in trouble for being internet bitches. Because they're cowards. Cowards, I tell you.
Internet's just full of assholes, period.
True.
You gotta wade through a lot of dicks to find the real friends. Isn't that what Cartman says?
Yes.
I do what I want.
Because that is the absolute truth. You gotta wave around all the dicks to find some quality friends.
I do what I want.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Freezes and getting him. Yes, I'm gonna kill you guys.
Part of me really has to laugh because I literally fell into the hole and I made a goddamn South Park OC. God damn it.
What is the most cringy persona you guys have?
Me! Because I'm trash!
When I was 16, I made a kind of... Okay, I'm trying to think of the worst one I've got. I made all my worst ones when I was 16. Trying to pick between some... Okay, I'm just gonna go with the League of Super Evil one.
See,
She had bright white hair, yellow eyes, wore a 1940s gangster suit. Yes, I was still absolutely obsessed and fascinated with that aesthetic back then. And she was an obsessive fangirl over Voltar, leader of the League of Super Evil. When I came up with her, I thought I was funny. I thought I was really creative and funny. Because the obsessive fangirl thing hasn't been done before.
And then Villainous happened.
I freaking love Villainous.
I still need to look into it. That's one of the things in my composition book of things I need to watch and or read. Jesus. God.
I'm so close to finishing this commission I'm working on right now. Yes, I've been talking and arting at the same time because I'm a loser.
Good.
Oh,
At least you art. I write things. My art is doll makers, literally. My art is just a bunch of doll makers things.
Well, I'm like, I really, really am wanting to try and earn up some more money before the Undertale convention. So I'm over here like busting my butt trying to get stuff done.
Yes, good.
And this tablet that I have, the one I got back in September, has made everything so much easier on me. Because I feel like I'm actually painting versus just doodling on something.
Or speaking of... Oh my god, Will's here. Holy crap.
Who?
Will Powell, he showed up. I'm like, oh wow. I was wondering why the chat was so quiet. Oh god, it's fun. Hey dude. Well, there's way too many things to explain about what happened. Like a lot.
It's a lot. To quote Shane Dawson, it's a lot.
Oh god. Now, can you imagine like the Headcanon Hive, but it's out of context quotes that could be made from this episode alone? Like, please.
Fish sticks. There you go. There's some material.
Just like 5
Yeah,
solid minutes. There's like
You guys
5
realize
solid
that
minutes of Scrooge laughing.
Yes!
Sorry!
It was beautiful. Let's make this
The microphone wasn't
beautiful.
muted, was it?
No, honestly, I think my favorite part of that whole out of context thing is when you're talking about I just want bread for my avocado chicken.
It was worth it. Oh my god, it was worth it.
It was amazing. And then, like, my one screech, I'm just like, good God, I am the queen of making noise.
Victory
like
speech!
I think it's more like a Wait, did I miss something? Oh my god, Will, no. Will, stop.
One day, someone's gonna Shane Dawson me, and it's just gonna be like talking about monsters and how hot they are, and then random moans from what I'm eating on camera. I swear to God.
Yes, good work.
Good job, B. Good job. Let's hope you don't get doxxed.
Oh my god.
Okay, sorry to do this, but I'm gonna wrap things up for now. There's going to be another round of AU discussion tomorrow, same time.
No, you're fine. You're
related stuff then.
boop boop a loop.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Aloha.
Good night.
Nerds, 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 nerds.